Well, apparently there's a documentary that I definitely need to watch because you and Holly are speaking the praises of a new documentary. This is the Colleen and Bradley Show. My Talk 1071. I'm Colleen Lindstrom. That's Bradley Trainer.
Hi. Oh, God. Hi.
You got to turn that thing on.
Hey.
It works better when it's on. So what is this documentary? Tell me more.
So there is a documentary that Holly brought to our attention yesterday called The Way Down. It's on HBO Max. It's an HBO Max original. The Way Down, W-A-Y, God, Greed, and the Cult of Gwen Shamblin. Now, when she first brought this up, I was like, I don't know what you're talking. She started by saying a cult documentary. I was like, oh, is it that like Lula Rose thing or Roe? What is that thing?
Lula Rich.
Lula Rich. I knew there was like a Lula something.
Ooh, it was real good.
And I've heard that's real good. And I'm always on the lookout for a good documentary, whether it's a podcast or a streaming service offering. And she's like, no. This is called The Way Down. And it's about that Gwen Shamblin. And I was like, wait a minute. Gwen Shamblin, she's got big hair. And I think like Jesus told her she could lose weight if she prayed hard enough or some dumb thing like that. I shouldn't say dumb, but it just sounds absurd on the face of it that you would pray your fat away, right? Well, sure enough, that's the woman. And I know about Gwen Shamblin, and a lot of people do because they've seen these videos on like YouTube or whatever over the years. And they seem funny now,
right? Because
it just seems like a joke that someone would say, like, instead of bowing down to the refrigerator, you should bow down to Jesus. Look, no harm, no foul. I don't care what your religious practices are, but that is a different way of selling a weight loss formula, right? Yeah. Well, she wrote this book called The Way Down, or The Way Down Program. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, WEIGH. Anyway, the moral of the story being that she had this very successful book. Well, that's not where the story stops. And in fact, you might remember we went down a rabbit hole with, I don't even think we did it on the air. I think this was like a prep room experience.
Yes, this was off the air.
When she died suddenly, Gwen Shamblin, along with her husband and some other people who were the leaders of this church. And I was like, wait, that's the diet lady, the pray the fat away lady. And sure enough, that's who it was. Well, in the intervening years from when she wrote that book, there's so much more. It goes so much deeper. And you learn about that. And I think it's 3 episodes of this HBO Max special. And there's going to be a couple more episodes that come out because they were working on this documentary when she died, when she was in that plane crash and all those people died. So,
wow.
But wait, there's more. Because it's not just here's a kooky, different, weird way of losing weight that this lady, made a bunch of money off of. She actually started a cult. And that's the piece that I didn't know anything about. That's the piece that's so fascinating. And I think you, of all people, would love it because, from the scholastic work that you've done of late, she really did some weird, I don't want to tell you what happens because I want you to watch it.
But I bet that there's some unique theological perspectives that she employs.
Most would call it heresy. Okay. Some heretical things that she did and said that maybe indicated to several other people who know a thing or two that she was not really interested in the religion part of things, that she was far more interested in the culty power and influence variety of things.
You'd be surprised how often that happens.
Well, and
actually, you wouldn't be.
But it involves people losing their children, some abuse. There's some deep things. Also, she was married to a former Tarzan.
That's right. I forgot about that. Was the former Tarzan the guy that ended up she was married to when they died in the plane crash?
Yeah.
And he was part of the leader of this church.
There were 7 people who died, and I think most of them were leaders of this church they called the Remnant. And it gets real dark real fast, and it's really just fascinating because she looks like what you would expect the leader of a religious cult who thinks that if you pray hard enough, you're going to lose weight. I mean, it looks like a Saturday Night Live sketch, but it's real life.
It's interesting, like when you think about like where some of the influences came from. The thing I always think about when I saw pictures of her was Gwen, what's her last name? Shamblin. Whenever I saw pictures of her, I thought she is trying to do Tammy Faye. Not Tammy Lee Webb, who's Buns of Steel. No, Tammy Faye Baker. Like she was trying to do Tammy Faye Baker.
And also Jan Crouch. And we talked a little bit about this when Holly brought this show up yesterday. There's just this like very interesting televangelist streak where women, the hair, like the higher the hair, the closer to a cult.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's closer to Jesus, honestly.
To them, it is.
Yeah, but to them, they would say that. But yeah, no, there's this very unique strain of like I am holy
because
the higher my hair
is.
Yeah. Because hers is absurd. Like I spent a lot of time last night trying to figure out what was under her head because I'm like, that's not hair.
That's not a bumpet.
Maybe it's like a possum.
It's like a mega bumpet.
Yeah.
How many episodes? 3 episodes?
I think it's 3 episodes.
And how long are they?
And I think they're about an hour-ish.
Okay.
Because the first one was just under an hour, I think.
So what you're saying is I'm spending 3 hours on the couch tonight.
Because, what happened to me last night was I watched the first I was like, I'm going to catch one episode before I go to bed. And it took everything I had to not click to the next one because the way that they film it, again, great stories are only great in the way that they're told. Mm-hmm. So like you can have a fascinating story that nobody tells well and you just never get that involved in it. This is going to suck you in. And then the way that it's filmed, you're going to be like, ooh, I need to see what happens next. And then you're going to not want to go to bed, but you do go to bed because sleep is important. But I will be watching episode 2 tonight.
Okay.
So I think you would really enjoy this documentary. And also, a good cult documentary.
Who doesn't love that?
It's just a fun distraction.
It's like that one that I watched on, I think it was on Netflix, that I can't remember the name of. The one you'll know about the Mormon, that Mormon church group and the false documents. And
yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was kind of a pandemic documentary.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, what was that called again? Something, I don't even remember. Anyway, that was a very interesting documentary. There was like it had everything. The Mormon
Murder
church,
among the Mormons.
That's what it was. Murder. There were some falsified documents. There was counterfeit. There was mystery. There was intrigue.
Is that the one where what was the one with the abducted daughter?
That's a different one.
What was that called?
What was that one
Wasn't
called?
Wasn't that Mormons too?
Yes. That one was like, that was like 2 years ago. Oh man, what was that one called? But that one was intense. We were all watching that. That was Netflix.
Was confused. Like the guy made her think she was being abducted by aliens.
Yeah, and then he took her in a RV. And oh man, what was that? Okay, all of you at home are like either yelling at your radio or going, "What the heck are they talking about?" That was on Netflix. That was one of those, right? It was on Netflix. That was one of those.
Abducted in Plain Sight.
That's what it was. That was one of those ones where when you watch it, you're like, wow, this is weird. And then you think it can't get weirder.
And it got weirder.
And then it gets weirder.
And then it gets weirder again. And then the dad is in the car and the things with the thing. Yeah.
And it's weird.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Can I just throw out a podcast weird one that is relevant right now? Because there's actually a movie based on this podcast coming out with Will Ferrell is in it. The Shrink Next Door. Did you listen to that podcast?
That is
amazing.
And that's another one where you're like, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is weird. And then the next episode, it's like, hi.
And then
it's weirder now.
And you're like, I don't understand how people could be that dumb.
Yeah.
But they get real dumb.
Yeah. So anyway, that's not a documentary, but that's a great documentary style podcast.
Is it a documentary that's coming out?
No.
Or it's a feature film?
It's a feature film.
Oh, okay.
I think it's going to be on Netflix though. No. Or maybe Apple TV. It doesn't matter. It's going to be on a streaming platform and it stars Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Etc.
And that one's got celebrities.
Oof. It's a good one. All right, when we come back on the Colleen and Bradley show, let's actually catch up with actual Britney, not just Britney Night on Dancing with the Stars. Let's see what's going on in Britney land after this on My Talk 1071. Let's check in with Brit on the Colleen and Bradley show, My Talk 1071. I'm Colleen Lindstrom. That's Bradley Trainer. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going over there?
Good. How are you?
Good. Should we check in with our friend Brittany?
Let's do it. Should we get the Cobra Gang together? Or do you want to do that?
Can we do that?
I know that's...
There it is. Thank you.
Double with a Cobra Gang. If you've got the crime, we've got the time with a Cobra Gang.
So we've got some Britney updates. Robin Greenhill, do you remember that lady?
So she's like the, isn't she the, is she the lady who works with the TriStar lady?
She's the lady. Yeah. She's the lady who works with that other lady. Yeah. So TriStar, sports and entertainment, or entertainment and things and sports.
Chicanery.
It's the group that made a lot of money off Britney Spears. Let's put it that way. And frankly, I want the Netflix documentary on this outfit because I just have to believe that. I don't know anything, but I bet that there's some stuff there.
Oh, there's no question that there's some stuff there.
Well, Robin, by all accounts, Robin Greenhill was, according to all sources, but specifically the documentary. Well, actually, both documentaries now that I think about it, Britney versus Spears and the New York Times presents Controlling Britney Spears.
Yeah.
That episode, I think they talk about Robin Greenhill as well, that she was instrumental in sort of the day-to-day management of Britney Spears and control of Britney Spears, down to things like, you know, Britney can't buy a pair of shoes, Britney can't go certain places, Britney can't have a Starbucks, because she was really controlling Britney Spears on a
micro
or molecular level, right? Like at a very basic level. And those are the allegations that were lobbed against Robin Greenhill, and she has yet to respond. Well, the reason we're talking about her today is because apparently TMZ caught up with her, and she's like, crickets. So they're like, hey, were you controlling Britney Spears? You got anything to say? And she had nothing to say. And I just, you know, I'm not surprised, of course, that she's not talking. I would imagine she's got to be real careful, because don't forget that the company that she worked for, TriStar, was paid by Jamie, that is the conservatorship, that is her father, paid Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill and the and TriStar like $500,000 in 1 year,
right,
for the work that they did for publicity, allegedly, supposedly, which just seems bizarre. Because I believe the year that they were paid that money, she was not actually performing.
Right, which is actually one of the things that is under scrutiny by the conservatorship, or by her. Like whatever suit her lawyer is, I don't know if her lawyer is bringing suit against Jamie, but that is one of the things that's up for investigation and conversation around Jamie Spears' conservatorship.
Yeah, absolutely. That $500,000 check.
That very specific amount of money for a time when she wasn't working.
The reason I said that I want to watch the Netflix documentary is because Jamie and Lou were apparently involved together, and I think Lou's husband runs a church.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but whenever you get celebrities in churches that are tax exempt involved and they've got lots of money, it's not that you can't be religious when you have lots of money. It's just that
there's questions.
There is an incentive when you are close to something that is a little bit more opaque in the way that it handles money, and that I would be concerned about, especially if we have reason to believe that you don't have your daughter's best interests at heart.
Yeah, when you're somebody who's prone to some shady dealings, like I believe Jamie Spears is, yes, it should actually raise a lot of red flags when there's a church involved.
I just
even
hope
loosely.
The FBI has said, look, Robin, tell us what you know about Lou and Jamie, and we'll go easy on you. Because I want them to get all the dirt.
And we want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, we want to know the dirt. I mean, I'm here to tell you, I don't care who you are. It does not take a rocket scientist to figure out that we only have scratched the surface of what we know about Britney Spears and what actually has happened in that conservatorship. It is, we can barely smell it.
Yep.
But we all want to know. We all want to know all the dirty, shady details.
And it's easy because, people for years have said, oh, nothing to see here. He's just a dad and he's taking care of her. And everyone's like, yeah, no, that's totally plausible. But now we know that our suspicions, and really the suspicions of other people, we just came along a little bit late to the game. Those suspicions were well-founded, right? Like they weren't just the musings of quote crazy people on the internet.
Well, and I just always want to say to people, to the Jamie Spears of the world, you can run, honey, but you can't hide. And
not in this day and age.
Yeah, it will come back to roost at some point. What's the
chickens will come home to roost?
Yes, thank you. When we come back on the Colleen and Bradley show, we've got some dumb people doing dumb things, crazy, stupid idiots. After this on My Talk 107.1. This is the Colleen and Bradley show on My Talk 107.1. I'm Colleen Lindstrom. That's Bradley Trainer.
Hi.
And before we get to those dumb people doing dumb things, Bradley, do you have a feeling?
Yes, and it's not gas.
No, it's the feeling of generosity. I think we're going to give something away.
Let's do it.
What are we giving away, Rachel?
We're giving away a pair of tickets to New Kids on the Block Mixtape Tour 2022 with Salt and Pepper. I'm sorry.
It's
Ashley.
Salt and pepper.
Coming to Excel Energy Center on June 14th, 2022.
Awesome. 651-641-1071. What caller are we giving those away to, Bradley?
2.
Caller number 2. And now let's get to those crazy, stupid idiots.
Well then, I guess one could say that's a crazy, stupid idiot. Colleen and Bradley present CSI. It stands for Crazy Stupid Idiots.
It sure does. Why? Well, because the world is full of crazy, stupid idiots, dumb people doing dumb things repeatedly, over and over again, oftentimes in the state of
Florida. And sometimes other places.
Like where?
Like Florida.
Oh, okay. What's going on in Florida?
Today we meet 46-year-old Matthew Cusimano.
Hi, Matthew.
He was riding his bike at 2:45 a.m. in the morning. That means the same thing. On Friday, he was in Madeira Beach, Florida, and a cop stopped him. Not because he was riding his bike, but because his bike did not have lights, and it was late at night, and that is apparently illegal. So when the cop pulled him over and was like, hey, buddy, you're riding your bike, and you don't have any lights, and it's 2:45 a.m., what's your name? And he was like, Matthew Cusimano. And they were like, oh, funny thing, you have an outstanding warrant.
Oh.
He didn't show up in court back in June.
Not good.
And that's what is just bringing this story to the fore. Because in the moment, it wasn't a big deal, right? Like, you're riding without lights. He had a warrant, but why he had the warrant is the reason why he's a crazy, stupid idiot. He was found in June with 2 glass pipes and 1/3 of an ounce of meth on him. Oh. And they asked him, like, what are you doing with all this?
Yeah.
And this is what makes him a crazy, stupid idiot.
He was holding it for a friend.
No, but that is a good guess because we hear that often with drugs.
That's not meth. It's just borax.
No.
No.
Some people. No, Bradley. I'm going to lead you to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There is a certain drug that people use for different reasons. It's called marijuana. You can use it recreationally, or you can use it.
To treat some issues.
Yeah, medicinally.
Medicinally.
Yeah. Well, this guy claimed that his meth was medicinal meth.
Oh, is that a thing?
No.
Medicinal meth.
No. He claimed it was okay because it was medicinal meth and he had a prescription for it.
Oh, yeah. That came in powder form.
Yeah, no. So apparently, I did not know this. Apparently, there's a form of something similar to meth that doctors can prescribe. This doesn't feel right to me. I don't want to trust this. It's called Desoxin. Oh, apparently it is prescription methamphetamine. Okay. But it is administered in pill form.
Yeah, well, like most things.
Right.
you know, the pill form is probably doesn't contain all of the garbage that street meth does. You know, like Oxy, people were addicted to that, but then if they can't get their hands on that, they turn to other things,
Right.
which are not safe
Right.
and are illegal.
Anywho, his excuse didn't work and he was arrested for possession of narcotics and drug paraphernalia.
Okay, well, yeah, there's no such thing as
Medicinal meth.
although apparently there is, but just
Yeah.
not street meth. Nice try.
Yeah. Thanks
We
for playing.
see you. Okay, I had a story and then I decided to change it to another story because
great.
my new story is better. So I want to tell you about Andrew Mustapik.
I mean, that's a name.
Right? Mustapik or Mustapik? I'm going to say Mustapik.
Yeah.
He must have picked this story. Anyway, I don't know Andrew from Adam, but I do know about something he did recently, which earned some crazy, stupid idiot status. So, have you ever sold a car?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I've sold it back
Have
to
you ever
the
bought a used
dealership.
car?
Yes.
From another person?
Yeah, well, from a dealership.
Okay.
I usually deal with dealerships.
But you know that that's not unheard of, right?
It's not uncommon.
Private vehicle sales, not unheard of. Well, he did that recently. And he's 66 years old, and he decided to sell his vehicle to a friend's friend, basically.
Okay.
And that earned him crazy, stupid idiot status. So I hear you saying, I don't understand. Why would selling a car?
Yeah, especially to a friend's friend. You'd think that was probably a really safe way to do it.
It was a 2017 Volkswagen Jetta.
Okay.
Okay. And actually it wasn't his, but he was going to sell it. So, but that's not the crazy, stupid idiot status.
All right.
Let's just say that there was a 17-year-old who wanted to buy this used vehicle. And Mustapik said, sure. Normally, when you're selling a vehicle, you're going to do what?
You're going to take it for a test drive?
Well, the person who wants to buy it would take it for a
right.
test drive. But if you're selling it, you're going to name a price.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And it's going to be like, I don't know, dollars.
Yeah.
Right? Usually
Yeah.
you sell a car for dollars.
This is super confusing to me because I thought this was all common sense.
Right? But that's not what happened. He sold this vehicle, but not for dollars. And it's what he sold the vehicle for that earns him crazy, stupid idiot status to this 17-year-old girl.
I have a feeling I know what direction we're going in, but I'm scared to go there. So I
You
just
should
want to
be.
say like cheeseburgers or something.
No, if by cheeseburgers you meant sex.
I definitely did not mean sex.
I mean, sometimes a good cheeseburger is better than sex.
That is
let's be clear.
1,000% true.
But in this case, he in return for purchasing the vehicle, like basically buying the vehicle for the teenager, like he didn't actually,
Right.
you know, so he put out the money, but in return, the
He asked her to put
17-year-old had to put out to him. But wait, there's more.
Oh, dear.
The 17-year-old girl had to sign a contract stipulating that she would, quote, be his sex slave twice a week on Mondays and Fridays for the next 5 years.
My gosh. For a 2017 Jetta?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you were going to be somebody's sex slave,
listen.
we should make fun of
I
that,
know.
but-
I just realized I was going down a road that I didn't like.
But it's crazy, stupid
Turn
idiots,
back,
right?
turn back,
But and
reverse.
also we can feel better because the good news is this did not happen, and he was arrested.
Thank God.
On a felony charge and subsequently released on a $50,000 bond. The twice divorced Mustapik.
I wonder why you got divorced.
He is scheduled for arraignment later this month, and he has been ordered to not have any contact with the 17-year-old.
Please do me a favor and give me your audio representation of his mugshot. Yeah.
Hey, little girl.
Oh, it's so gross. Ish, dude.
After picking out a 2017 Volkswagen Jetta at a Fort Pierce dealership, the teens returned with Mustapik to his residence where he asked the older female to take her clothes off.
No.
The victim told cops that her friend refused to disrobe, but instead convinced... Oh, no. No. It gets worse.
No.
So let's just say it's a good thing
that this got reported.
Exactly. And that he's going to jail for a long time, we hope.
Yeah.
Thank you. Where are we going next?
He must have picked out a jail to go to.
Must have picked a jail.
Okay.
Outfit.
Okay, we are going to Massachusetts, also known as Massachusetts.
By people who don't know how to pronounce Massachusetts. Yes, but I've heard otherwise intelligent humans say Massachusetts.
That's true. It's Massachusetts.
T is not silent.
And we are going to learn about a barber shop. And that barber shop is called, hold on, I got to get the name of the barber shop because that is where we really bring it all home. It's called, oh, shoot. I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, it's okay. We're going to a barber shop. Bonehead's Barbershop. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Bonehead's Barbershop, where we're going to meet a 17-year-old boy who went to Bonehead's Barbershop to have his hair cut by Robbie Rocco, the owner of Bonehead's.
Robbie Rocco.
Right?
Sounds like the owner of Bonehead's.
Of Bonehead's Barbershop.
Yeah.
And the 17-year-old was like, yeah, can you use a 2 on me? And Robbie Rocco.
That's like a guard on the
–
razor.
The guy, Robbie Rocco, goes, that's really short. Are you sure you want a 2? And the kid was like, yeah, I want a 2.
Okay.
And so Robbie Rocco from Bonehead's Barbershop puts the 2 guard on and just gives the guy a buzz. And the kid is like, great, thanks. You know, like they had a nice conversation. The kid paid and then left.
Okay.
You're like, where's the crazy, stupid idiot?
Where's the crazy, stupid idiot?
She's about to show up.
Oh, no.
It is the 17-year-old's mother.
Oh, no.
Who
is
rolled
her name
up.
Karen?
You know what? Don't know. But for the purposes of this story, yes, her name was Karen. She rolls up to Bonehead's Barbershop, and she is real mad.
What's she mad at?
Real mad.
She didn't like his short hair or something?
20 minutes later, the 17-year-old's mom comes into the shop saying it's way too short. She was screaming and she wouldn't let Robbie Rocco speak. And she was like, you ruined my kid's hair. I have his senior pictures next week. You ruined his hair. And Robbie Rocco is like, ma'am, I'm sorry. He asked for it. He paid for it. He never really indicated. She didn't care. You know what she did?
What?
She called 911.
Ooh, she looks like Karen too. Here, I found
Did you
another.
find her?
I found another photo of this story, and I would like you to look at it.
Ooh. Yeah, she was real mad. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
She's like, I am. That is Karen personified.
Oh, my gosh. And there she is speaking on her phone. I would like to speak to the manager of 911. My son got a bad haircut.
Oh, also, Robbie put it on his TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
Mom hashtag Karen called 911 on me because I cut her son's hair too short.
Yeah. So, listen, it's the world we live in.
Oh, my God.
It's the world we live in. When you
Poor
make
kid
somebody.
was just like, Mom.
Well, this is my thing. It's just hair.
It's going to grow back.
It grows back.
Yeah.
Also, it's an episode of life. It's a moment.
Also, like, how
It's
miserable
fine.
do you feel about yourself when you realize, when you watch the video later of yourself going all Karen because of your son's hair?
That's the follow-up Maury episode that I want. I want Maury to invite all the viral Karens on. No, I don't want
Oh my
Maury to
God.
do it. I want Oprah to do it. Like, to just be like, how did you feel?
Yeah.
Or like maybe
life
Dr.
after
Phil.
being Karen. Yeah.
Right?
Like, let's
Like-
find out what life is like after you've been Karened.
Like,
Or you
let's get
Karened
to the
yourself.
bottom of that. Let's just get right to the bottom of that.
Okay.
Also, if they could get the Tim Hortons pooper, I would be happy with that as well.
When we were coming home from our cruise, we flew through Toronto and there was a Tim Hortons in the airport. And I almost took a picture and sent it to you guys, but it was closed. So it didn't really, I was going
Wouldn't
to go
have
in and
packed the
ask
same
for
punch.
some paper towel.
Look it up. When we come back on the Colleen and Bradley show, our friend Rocco, not Robbie Rocco from Bonehead's Barbershop, our actual friend Rocco here from the radio station is going to be the host of the Throwback
Live!
after this on My Talk 1071.